Hello and welcome. In this video, I do some Copic coloring on a floral stamped image and I create a card with it. So I'm going to be using the Wild Columbine stamp and die set from Hero Arts. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the stamp from the packaging, and then using my Misty tool, I'm going to stamp the image. And I'm going to be using Gina K Amalgam Black ink to stamp the image. And I'll use my pressure tool to just get that ink really applied to that paper. And I'm going to stamp this quite a few times just to make sure those lines are nice and crisp and solid. And applying extra pressure just to make sure, and then trying to get those last little bits on the image. Then on a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch white cardstock panel, I'm going to place this stencil on top, and I'm going to use the following colors from Pink Fresh to ink blend over this stencil to create a background. I'm attempting to sort of create a gradient with the 4 different colors, but at the end you'll see that it didn't really work out quite the way I wanted, but I'll still have a nice teal turquoise background. I'm going to take this off my sticky mat, and I'm going to put it into my Misty on a different type of sticky mat because I'm going to stamp a background stamp over this. And these are words stamps that say thank you. I think that's what they say. And then I decided to come back and apply ink. I thought the white background was a bit harsh, so I'm applying some light ink blending to the back to sort of take away some of that harshness. And this will be the background of my card. I'm using my Copic color chart to sort of line up and determine which colors I think will go with my ink blended background. And then I'm going to go ahead and color in my stamped image. This is record-setting coloring pace. I have fast-forwarded through this portion as I am really not very good at coloring, and it takes me a very long time to actually color in these images. So not exactly the most interesting part of the video, so just fast forwarding through this section. And then once I'm done coloring in the stamped image, I'm going to use the coordinating die cut to cut out the floral image, and that's going to be the front of our card. I'm going to use this Thanks die from a Concord and 9th set, and I'm going to cut them both out of white cardstock, and then I'm going to add some ink to the word part of it in the 2 darkest shades of the, trying to give it sort of a gradient look. And then I'll add my glue to the back of that and glue that onto the shadow die cut. And then I'm going to put my card together. I'm going to glue the card panel onto a top folding card base. And then I'm going to use foam tape on the back of the floral stamp set, and then put that on the top of the card, and then I'm going to add the sentiment. And then I'm going to add these opal gems. I think they're opal gems from Spellbinders, just to give it a little bit of extra something. And these have the adhesive already on them, so I find them a little bit harder to figure out where I want to put them first before actually putting them on the card, but that's okay. And then I'm going to use my aqua shimmer pen to add some sparkle to the sentiment and the centers of the flowers, and there's the finished card. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out some of my other card making videos.